All right, welcome. We have Eric Coomes with the Group of Alcova. Thank you for coming in today, and we see you all over Harrisburg. So we just want you to talk a little bit about you, your family, the company. How'd you get involved with Alcova the Group of Alcova? And the floor is yours.
Yeah, so interesting story.
Family first.
Family first.
Stop everyone. Family first.
Family first.
Yep, tell us about your family.
Yeah, so very blessed. I had a beautiful wife named Mackenzie, and then we have an amazing little girl named Bristol. She's 7. Acts like she's 13.
7's a great age.
Yeah, so far.
Is she like you or your wife?
She's just like me. She's just like me. Looks like me, acts like me, and is tall like me. She's already in size 12.
Oh my gosh.
So
She is going to be tall.
Yeah, she's huge.
How tall is she now?
She's pretty tall. She comes almost to my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
And she's 7.
Oh my.
She's just as tall as Mackenzie already.
She's so cute. She into anything, your daughter?
So we're into dance, light and heavy. We do 3 different types: ballet, jazz, and hip hop.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is pretty interesting.
Dance.
And then basketball. So the last 3 years, I've been the head coach, and so that's been a fun transition, teaching them.
Oh yeah, those are fun years.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can get into mortgage.
So hold on. So your wife, how long you guys been married?
So we've been married almost 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Yeah, and she's born and raised in Harrisburg.
Is she really?
Yep, sure was. She graduated at Hickory Ridge.
Wow.
She's been here her whole
I
life.
love that. Where are you from?
So I'm from Kentucky.
Okay.
So I graduated high school in 2000 and had a dream to race in NASCAR. So the day after I graduated high school, I packed up by myself, and I've been here ever since.
Came to Concourse.
So I thought I was going to be the next Jeff Gordon. I didn't realize how the sport worked at the time. I just thought, hey, I'm good. I'll just work my way into it. And, didn't make it to NASCAR by no means, but I did work for Richard Petty for almost 12 years.
Wow. Doing what for Richard Petty?
So I started off, they wouldn't hire me as a mechanic or a driver. So the only job they had open was pressure washing the cars, keeping them clean. So I did that for a couple of weeks. It was the worst job ever. You had to put the car up on a lift and clean it from the bottom so it came down.
And you came here to be a racer.
Yeah.
A racer driver.
But I knew I had to, earn my keep. And I did that for about 2 weeks, but I'd always raced my whole life. So I knew everything about race cars, how to set them up. And I was on my lunch break on my second week, and Chris Tompkins, which is a friend of all of ours,
right?
He was in charge of the mechanical shop at the time. And I was on my lunch break, and he was working on a car, and I just asked if I could help. And he let me help, and he was like, what you're doing with these things? I was like, kinda. He's like, I'll be right back. And he went upstairs to Human Resources and said, hey, he works for me starting on Monday. And I was a mechanic from that point, which was life-changing because as a young guy, I went from being paid hourly, minimum wage, to full salary, uniforms.
Yeah.
That was all new. So I worked with Chris for a long time.
You knew what you were doing.
Yeah. So I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for Chris Tompkins, I don't know where I would be in life because he really gave me my first opportunity.
That's so cool.
It is.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And we've been in touch ever since. Still do business together. He's in the networking group with us. So I was there when his first son
transformed you from that mechanic, race car, to completely different, to leading your dream of what you were going to do?
So it's interesting because that was my first real job. And, I did work my way into the driver's seat just after a couple of years of being full-time mechanic, and ended up becoming the head driving instructor for the whole company.
Oh, wow.
In 2004. So
what's that mean, you head driving instructor?
So Richard Petty driving experience back in the day, if you wanted to drive a stock car as a client, you would show up, they would put you in your own car, but you would have an instructor in front of you.
Okay.
That would lead you around, show you the way, teach you how to shift the gears, all that stuff. And I worked my way up to where I could train those guys. And we went through massive growth in the early 2000s. So we had locations all over the U.S. So I trained all of our drivers, hired them, interviewed them.
What a cool job.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I tell people all the time, you know, when you do that for a living and you don't know anything different, you know, you never had a day off, never had a weekend off. And I just got tired of hearing, back when we used to listen to the radio,
Right.
you would hear the DJ say, "It's Friday, it's a weekend." I was always like, what's that
Another
feel
work
like?
day,
Because
yeah.
we're just headed to another racetrack,
Right.
you know, different city. And about 12 years into it, I was in the hotel room in Chicago. I'll never forget it, middle of the night. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I want to be home. I want a family.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get off the road. And I really dreamed of having a real job, which is crazy to think. 'Cause
Right.
everybody dreamed of having my job. But when that's all you knew, you kind of wanted to see what normal was like.
Yeah.
Life on the road wasn't as easy.
That's hard.
You travel with the same 20, 30 people. You know,
Hotels.
yeah. Hotels, bars.
Yeah.
There's not
so
much
much.
fulfillment out of that. Yeah.
Right.
So I made the change. It was a client of the Nord Group
Okay.
for the last 26 years. And so I got to know Dave Nord really well, which Steven, my business partner today, we're the same age, which is kind of cool. But me and him just developed a really good relationship, and I came to him as a client. And I just stayed in touch, and he almost turned into a mentor over the years. So anytime I had a major life change or a career move of something I wanted to do, I would go in his office and pick his brain, because he knew everything about me from selling my first house. And so that was really cool, especially me being from Kentucky. I didn't have my parents here.
Yeah.
So, you know, he kind of filled that void.
Yeah. Have something to lean on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I leaned on him for a lot of life experiences early on, and didn't really know Steven, you know, in those early years, because he was college football athlete and was doing different things. So he was never around. And then I really didn't get to know him until just a couple of years before I started at the Nord Group.
Okay.
So, and we share an office today, and
So when you
Dave's retired.
transition into the mortgage industry, so do you need a license, or what do you need when you decided to make that transition?
Yeah, that's the hardest part. So you have to be federally licensed, and then you have to be licensed in the states that you lend in. So we have a couple different ways around that. Like me and Steven are licensed in North Carolina, but we have several people that work for us that carry the other license.
Okay.
So we can always put loans in their name, but we can lend all over.
Anywhere in the U.S. Oh, wow.
Yep. So the test is pretty hard. You have to go through about 30 hours of training. You have to complete that to be eligible to take the federal test. And it's a 4-hour test.
Jeez.
And you have to have a 75 or higher to get the license. And the success rate is 51% on the first try.
What was your first try?
So my first try was a 74.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It was a 74?
Which was a big boo-boo.
Yeah.
And believe it or
Not
not,
really.
I took it again, 74, the second time. And then
How often do you just keep taking it?
you can take it 3 times, and then you have to wait 6 months if you fail it the third time.
So then you're freaking out. Going
I was, because I'd already gained the opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
And then I felt like I was letting people down. So I changed my study habits, and I found a really cool group on Facebook.
Yeah.
And that was the game changer.
Wow.
And it was people preparing to take the test.
Yeah.
And they had a thing called a hot seat. And every Thursday night at 7 o'clock, you got on this Zoom. And if you signed up for the hot seat,
Yeah.
he'd put you in the pressure cooker and would ask you questions, change the wording, and then would give feedback, direct feedback.
Great is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You could
I
bring
learned
that
so
into
much.
anything to study for.
Yes. Yes.
Me listening to you, I love, you said, Chris Tompkins changed your life, David Orr, Stephen Orr. Even that, going into that hot seat, you let people pour into you. You said, I need help.
Yep.
I need a mentor. Show me.
Yep.
You did it 4 or 5 times just right there. And I
Yes.
think this is the wisest thing that anyone could do
Yeah, because it was super challenging, right? Backing up a little bit, I said I wanted a real job because I was starting to get a knack for business. And I literally was looking for what companies are growing that I can latch onto.
Yeah.
So the first opportunity was Dollar General. And I spent several years there, which was really great because when you're single, you can work as hard as you want to.
Right.
And when you're chasing the corporate ladder,
Yeah.
I was killing it.
Yeah.
And then I met McKinsey. And then Sam, we got married and had Bristol pretty early on. Dollar General wasn't the place for me anymore. I loved that company and I loved what I did, but it required, similar to the racing, 7 days a week if you want to be the top of your game.
Right.
And there's actually another guy in Harrisburg that is in real estate now that used to work at Dollar General. And me and him competed for number one in the company for years. And we lived local, which was crazy. And now we do business together. But, it was a very demanding job. And I got very close with the CEO at Dollar General. He loved racing. So he liked Eric.
So is that CEO local?
No, he was out of Nashville,
Oh, he's out of
Tennessee,
Nashville.
which was where Dollar General's headquarters were, which wasn't far from my hometown. And, we had a conversation, and he said, hey, I sit on the board at Safelite Auto Glass. He goes, you would thrive over there if you could make that change. He goes, they are about to pop off. And I did. I was aggressive, and we had just had Bristol a month before.
Now I love her name even more.
Yeah.
Knowing who you are.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I made the change, which was super scary for us
Oh, yeah.
because it was kind of the same chance I took in racing. It was a little bit of a pay cut for us. But I told McKinsey, I said, hey, I'm betting on myself here. I'm going to get in there and then work my way up.
And just kill it.
And I loved Safelite. Great company. Still have some very close friends that work there. And was planning on retiring there when Dave and Steven both asked me to come race with them in Indiana with the go-kart series.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I've always wanted to do that. Thanks for inviting me. So I went to Indiana. And at the end of that weekend, they said, hey, Dave was like, I'm going to retire. Steven is really, really good in sales and almost too busy with sales to manage the business. And he goes, and that's what I've been doing. And we thought about you because we were like, hey, this guy can come in and learn it, figure it out, and he'll make his way. And that came from the relationship I had with Dave. He saw me take on new challenges,
Right. And kill it.
from being a client,
Yeah.
and he knew, hey, this is
He's a hard worker.
Yep. And at first, I was like, there's no way I can't leave Safelite. It was great. So we talked about it, and I said, I travel quite a bit with Safelite. Bristol's young. I could be home every night.
Every night.
Like, they leave the office at 5:30, 6 o'clock on most normal days.
Right.
Yeah, because the banks are closed. It's not like they're not.
Yeah, I could be home. I can help put her to bed. And she's like, I don't know. Safelite's really good. And we got her family involved, the in-laws, and kind of sat down and talked about it together. And I said, I'm willing to take a chance to do the same thing because as I got older, time becomes more important.
Right.
A lot of people don't
Time,
see.
family.
Yeah. When you're having success, which is great, but nobody sees those 8 o'clock at night car ride homes from Virginia or South Carolina, just trying to get home to be in your own bed.
Right.
Little bit of Dollar General and same thing at Safelite. There was times I would need to be at a meeting in Atlanta or somewhere in Virginia. I would have a hotel room, but I would commute just to come home and then go back the next day because I was done with hotels, done with that. I needed that home.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, the decision was pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I can figure this out. And it's been great ever
How long
since.
have you been there now?
Almost 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Good decision, best decision.
Yes,
I
best
say that
decision.
as your bosses are watching.
Yes, because I get to do everything that I've ever wanted to do. I've got my time. The flexibility's there. And then I get to play with business all day, every day, sometimes more than I want.
Yeah.
But that's my passion. I'm a spreadsheet guy, business guy.
Learning curve.
Yeah, it's a huge learning curve.
Yeah.
But Dave, 30 years
Right.
plus experience, easy transition, kind of saying, hey, this is what you need to focus on. And then you have Steven, probably one of the top loan officers in the country.
Wow.
That's in the same office.
Training you.
Wow.
And just hearing him in his office and how he handled deals, situations, good or bad,
Yeah.
was instant learning. And then, I would always say, hey, so how did y'all get there? Or ask him questions. And still to this day, I hear him on the phone just doing what he does, and he learns something every single day. So,
All right, take us into now.
Yeah.
Take us into someone wants to buy a house.
Well,
Who's
who's your like number one, like what type of customers do you like or you prefer? Or how does that work?
so that's a loaded question, but what I love working with first-time home buyers just because they're green and they don't know.
Yeah.
So everything you tell them, they're a sponge.
Right.
And they're soaking it up. Sometimes what's a challenge is someone that's bought 5 or 6 homes and they think they have an idea of what needs to happen. And sometimes once they fill out an application, that scenario may be different than what they dreamed up.
Right.
So sometimes that could be a challenge
whatever.
to explain because
Yeah.
no different than what you said when I first got here, right? Our first house was 2.4% interest.
Yeah.
Well, if you called today expecting the same thing,
You're-
I'm shocked.
yeah, I'm going to give you some shock
Yeah.
saying it's the game's changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would say, people that are prepared and committed to learning, following the direction of, hey, we need these documents, it's for a reason. And when you have clients that are on top of that,
Yeah.
it is such a smooth process.
With new home buyers, is there a difference in down payment from like now versus 10 years ago?
Yes. Yeah, it all changes because even when I bought my first house, it was 100% financing, right?
Okay.
And the question was, do you have a job? Cool, you got a house.
Yeah.
And then the market crashed and a lot of laws came with
Right.
that.
Okay.
But now, there's still programs similar to that, 100% financing that are starting to happen more and more. But a lot of people are taking advantage of down payment assistance, where the state of North Carolina gives them $15,000 that goes towards their down payment and or closing costs, depending on the price point of the house. So a lot of first-time home buyers are using that.
What's the caveat to that? Do you have to stay in the home for a certain amount of time?
It is. It's a huge caveat. So technically it's 15 years when you have to pay it back. You can get out as early as 11,
Okay.
and then the penalty starts to decline.
Okay.
Are you able to rent it out? Does it matter if you still own it? Or?
So yeah, exactly. So if you come off the mortgage, you would have to owe that 15
okay.
back.
that
So
was you're on the mortgage.
yep.
Okay.
Yep. And what we see a lot of times is, and we try to tell people, home values aren't going down. So, if you're in the home for 2 or 3 years, it's going to matter, but it's not going to matter as bad because you're going to gain so much equity in that home and you're going to lose 15 of it.
Right.
But if we do need to refinance in 3 years, it's still going to be better to go ahead and do that, even if you need cash out,
Right.
to pay bills or whatever. So, as long as home values continue doing what they've done forever,
Yeah.
that program's still very solid for an entry-level person that may not have a lot of assets.
Okay. With the climate of our government, we all go into politics.
Yep.
You're going to say it's always a good time to buy. How do you get someone? What's a creative way you can get someone into a home that is scared of the interest rates, that want to wait to see if they come down, but they are moving. They do have to buy something.
Isn't it interesting though, like interest rates from the 80s were like what in the teens,
Yes.
18, 15%, and now we're all worried about a 6% interest rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are. But like he said, I'm coming in there thinking it's going to be 3%.
Right.
It's shocking when it's 6. How do you walk someone through that? And that'll be our closing.
Yeah, and to your point, the difference though, yes, interest rates were 15% in the late 80s,
Yeah.
but homes were also $60,000.
Right.
Right now,
Difference.
Yeah.
just in my time in the industry, you could find homes right around the $200,000 mark. That 200,000, the new 200,000, 300,000.
Yeah.
And this year we're starting to see it the other way. It's hard to find homes in 300,000 price range. But there's a couple different strategies. for someone that says, hey, I want to wait till the rate comes down. And one of the main ones is to show the cost of waiting.
Okay.
And what you're doing there is showing people that that home value is going to continue to rise. So while you wait,
Right.
even with a lower rate, you're probably going to pay more for that
Okay.
dream home
That's
or
a
price
good,
point.
That's good. Because there's always that Monday morning. Oh, if we just would have bought here. You always say that. If I would have bought 2 years ago, if I would have.
Yep. So
Okay.
we love our spreadsheets.
Yep.
And, we have a spreadsheet built in to show what the cost of waiting looks like.
Yeah.
So if you are wanting to wait till
Okay.
rates go to 5%, we think that might be a couple of years. So let's show you what a couple of years looks like on the same home. This home that you love today at 430 is going to be 490
Right.
in 2 years.
Okay.
You do the math, that interest rate's not that big of a deal
Yep.
if you just go ahead and get on it.
But to quantify those numbers in front of somebody is key.
Is key. You've got to communicate.
Yeah.
Just like in any other relationship, communication is key.
Right.
Right. It's the same thing when you're buying a house.
Right.
Yeah. I think the other creative thing that we don't do enough, I talk about it all the time.
Okay.
Stephen does as well. It's called a 2-1 buy down. And right now, that's probably the hottest thing you can do to get in that home. And how it works is the seller is essentially buying the rate down for the potential buyer. So they have to commit to what that buy down is.
Okay.
So, without real numbers right in front of me, I just ran one for an agent last week, so I'm kind of using that one. But on a $400,000 house, the buy down's probably going to be in the $8,000 to $9,000 range. That's what it would cost the seller. So I've been running around trying to educate agents, hey, do not do a $10,000 or $15,000 price drop. That's not going to gain you anything.
Right.
What will gain you something, get the seller. The seller's committed to the price drop anyway. They're already committed to losing that amount on the sale of the home. Back that up so they're saving cash. But now for potential buyer, that buy down goes to the rate. So the 2-1, how it works, let's say today's qualifying rate is 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
They have to qualify at that rate. But for the first year, we get to go 2% lower for the entire year.
Okay.
That's a big difference.
4.5% for the first year. Year 2 would be 5.5%. Year 3, it lands at that qualifying rate.
And then could you refinance if, let's say, the rates are completely different?
And that's the golden ticket, because if they get to year 2 and we're playing around 5.5%, which we weren't far from before the war started, we were right there. If we got to that situation and they did refinance, guess what? That buy down that the seller put in went into an escrow account. So if they refinance and lock in, that's a refund to the buyers.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it is a great
awesome.
program.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
And there's a lot of people that take advantage of that, but not near enough, because I guarantee you it would help move some of this inventory that's been sitting.
Oh, I love it.
Well, the awareness side. How many people know about it?
Not a lot.
And I think if you even are thinking about it, I say call you guys.
Yes.
See what you don't have to buy a house. See what the options are, so you're not scared. A lot of times, us homeowners just don't ask questions or just.
Well, we
tell me what
read
to
something
do.
and you don't even know what we're reading.
Yeah.
We need somebody to break it down, a professional break it down.
Right.
Get a better idea.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Help
Yes.
us find a way.
Yes.
Right.
Is there a way?
Yes. And, about a year ago, me and Stephen from the business side, we sat down and rewrote our core values. Like, who are we as a company and people? And we both committed to follow those in life, outside of business and in business.
So good. Yeah.
But one of the core values is find a way. And that's the message we need to get out there, because if someone's thinking of buying a vacation home or even their first home, like, we'll find a way.
Right.
You just come here and we will lay out the roadmap to get you there. It may not be what you want to hear, but here's a professional plan.
Yeah.
That's
It's
good.
so good. He always says to our family, tell them, let me see what I can do.
Yes.
Always.
Just
Not yes or no. Just let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
Yep. Work on it.
And there's a lot of our competition doesn't do that.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your credits to
Yes. Give me the creative.
They're
Give
done.
me something.
Right.
One of my favorite closings was at the beginning of this year. this young lady applied with me when I first got into business almost 3 years ago. Credit was challenged. Could not, even think
It is
about
what it is.
attaining a mortgage. But she called. She's single, was trying to do this. And I never let go of her. I stayed in touch. We developed a plan to build that credit. It took 2 years. And guess what? We closed on her home.
Love that.
And there was tears at the closing table.
Yeah.
And she said nobody else would help me. And
amazing.
that's the difference here.
Yeah.
Finding a way, and you've got a roadmap, and we won't forget you.
Right. Just the NOR group difference.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Eric, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
think
we could talk to you forever.
I agree. There's so many other topics that we definitely have to have you back on, because I think there's a lot of other things we want to talk about as well. But thank you for being here today.
Yes.
The best way to get a hold of you.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can call our office, or you can look us up, social media, internet. Alcova Mortgage will bring you to the NOR group.
Okay.
We have Facebook page, obviously NOR group. I'm pretty active on social media. So if you click on, my page or Steven's page, it's either going to be mortgages or family related. So we're pretty easy to get in touch with.
Yeah. Well, we love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here today.
Yes.
And we'll definitely have you on again.
Awesome. Thank you,
man.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching today. Please like and subscribe.